Hello and welcome to some more Kerbal Space Program with me, the Green Dragon. Today we're going to Minmus, and I have taken the time and effort to design a Minmus rocket that actually makes plenty of sense, namely a minimalistic one. You know, cutting down on excessive weight, and yeah, I'm gonna try, I am gonna be launching a new campaign, and this will be part of it, where I'll be planting flags on every planet as far as I'm able to. And I will be trying to make more professional, more efficient designs, ones that cut down on necessary weight and use a bit more of the science and math behind it, you know, measuring out about as much delta V as I need with a bit of reserve rather than just building it as big as I can reasonably make it. Because I do have a tendency to build a lot of reserve into my designs, and that's fine, but it makes for rather heavy my apologies. Rather heavy designs, and that means more weight, and that makes it harder to assemble and get things into orbit, so hoping to make it more interesting by making it more efficient. I also think that my moon lander was overbuilt as well, because with that much fuel and with an aerospike you can land on Duna. In fact, the design I used in the previous flight with some modifications, I'm gonna try and take it to both Duna and Ike. You know, in two separate launches, as in one mission for Duna and one mission for Ike, you know? And yeah, I think that design is quite capable of that, and that it was kind of overbuilt for the moon. But anyway, we're gonna go out here, we're gonna set Minmus as our target, and we're gonna launch. So, as you can see, it's a simple three-stage rocket. We have boosters for the launch, a stage that gets us into orbit, and then we go to Minmus on this one fuel tank. Since it's so easy to land on Minmus, since the gravity is so low, this fuel tank will take us all the way over there, including adjusting our inclination, land us, take us off, and get us back to Kerbin with plenty of delta V to spare. And ultimately, it doesn't matter how much fuel you have, what matters is how much speed you can get out of that fuel. And, well, I'll just show you just how efficient this simple design is, and yeah, I've cut down on every bit of unnecessary weight. The only thing that is here other than fuel and engines and is strictly needed is the SAS module, but I need that. So, well, and the tri-coupler. Suppose I could have added them to the sides, but then it would have just looked ugly. Anyway, onwards. Solid boosters are a go. We have liftoff. I'll start a very slight turn so that the solid boosters, once we decouple them, do not come crashing back down on the launch pad. Just because smashing pieces of metal into our launching, assembly is kind of not nice to the technicians working there. Throttle up in preparation for separation. There we go. We'll slow down for a few seconds, but it'll balance out about here, and now we keep accelerating. This will take us nearly to orbit, and we will get rid of it once we hit a periapsis of about, say, 18,000, so that it comes crashing down to the surface and we don't leave any unnecessary trash in orbit. Yeah, a bit soon for that, but we'll do the second stage of the turn a bit later at 15,000, and that should balance out nicely. Alright, speed is looking very good. Angle is a bit but oh well. Fuel, we are on the second set of fuel tanks. We are half spent, but reaching this altitude takes about half of the delta V you need to actually get into orbit, so we are quite on schedule. I have tested this once, I know it will get me there, and I know that it will get me back. I have not tested the Duna designs, but the numbers say that it should work. The numbers say it should work, especially since coming back will be significantly lighter. We will now turn further and we will check the map. Our ascending descending node is about here. We are heading downwards, which means that we need to adjust our angle this way to start cutting down on that. Oh, no, 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 no. Actually, we need to go the other way. Never mind. We'll cut the engines here, and we'll do a secondary burn at the apoapsis. Well, actually, we can use this, if we use this to finish the inclination change, then, fun fact, we can burn up all of the fuel without having to dump any of it, and still have this thing crushing down. It allows us to get more fuel out of the ascent stage, because you do end up with a few drops that you end up just ditching, and we'll just use the final stage, the transfer and landing stage, for finishing up our orbit. On the fly modifications, Jebediah style. And we are in space, so it's time to do our... Well, no, it's not quite time, but soon. We'll time accelerate ever so slightly. The burn should be relatively short. We are 7 seconds away. Gonna give it a third of the thrust. Just do it gently. There we go. There's our inclination. Throttle down. Finish it off gently. There we go. Now we burn for an orbit and we ditch that maneuver node. We have 28 seconds. Hopefully that will be enough. Our ascent was less than efficient turn-wise, because as you can see we are still moving relatively slowly, even though we are at this height. This is inefficient. It is also the way it is. Yeah, I didn't do that turn as perfectly as I could have. Gonna have to watch the map. I do not want my periapsis to be too high, and it won't be, because that has burnt out. Decouple and ignite the engine and accelerate away from it. There we go. Small, efficient ship, which I flew less than efficiently. That gives us 90 by 86. That is quite sufficient. 0.2 degrees is a sufficiently small inclination, whoopsie, to not cause any problems. Alright. I believe that we may even be able to burn somewhere along here. I will be fiddling with this a tiny bit. Whoa. To make sure we have a nice efficient ascent. Yep, we need to dot as much. There we go. We now have an encounter right there with a... Okay, I'm gonna fiddle with it tiny bit more. What about now? Ah, Minmus periapsis is of 100. This will take about a third of our Delta V budget. Maybe a bit more to get there. But then again, we won't need as much to get back and land as we need to actually get out there. Minmus is extremely easy. So let's accelerate slightly till we hit our burn point. Okay, 40 seconds and ignite. Gonna use physical time warp to help that burn go down faster. Because let's face it, a minute of burning is boring. Need to adjust that. The engine is a bit powerful for Minmus with a craft this light, but I believe we can manage it with a bit of actually working it. And I believe we will be quite fine. Okay, now, slowly and gently. See, even at the lowest setting, the speed is going down quickly. We'll have to toggle the engine on and off in order to keep drifting downwards on Minmus, since the gravity is so damn low. but at the same time it's, in all honesty, not that huge a deal. Do we have an encounter? We do. And how good is it? Okay, let's just go out there now. Okay. There we go, Minmus! Woo! We are gonna get captured by it, right? It's not gonna glitch out on me. Okay, it did not. And we're still pretty damn high, but as you can see, we're moving very slowly even at this altitude. This little piece of rock has a very low gravity. Okay, we're gonna wait till we hit the periapsis and we're gonna orbit it. As you can well imagine, orbit is pretty equatorial, which is nice. That certainly makes things easier. And yeah, just 200 meters per second to come plummeting straight down at it. And yes, we'll accelerate as we head towards it, but even then, we're not gonna pick up that much speed. Whoa. That's low. I'm gonna take it. The mountains on Minmus aren't that high. And we're gonna do another maneuver here to bring our apoapsis in. And then we'll just pick ourselves a landing spot, like here, say. Okay. Nearly there. I'm gonna see another 200 meters per second. And we still have, well, more than a third of our fuel, which is quite enough for what we're trying to do here. A minimum of waste and a maximum of efficiency, well, more or less. As you saw, that design works pretty well. Feel free to copy it. It's pretty easy to copy as well, so you know, if any of you have trouble building efficient Minmus craft, that's a pretty effective one-man version for you, right there. Not overly complicated like some of my designs may at times be. This appears well nigh perfect. Okay, now we'll go into this mode. Ooh, that's carbon. There we go, there she blows. Then we are at 150 meters per second, which is pretty damn low. Again, relatively easy to get rid of that speed. And as you guys use fuel and get lighter, of course, each bit of fuel tends to do more. Now we switch to surface speed, which is even lower, and we kill some of that speed and start heading downwards. Kill a bit more of it. I just want to make sure I drift towards the center of that thingy down there. Yes. 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 And see, we still have more than a third of our fuel. And this thing in total has some 2,500 meters per second of delta V, so a third of it is some 700 or 800, which is enough. Certainly enough. Now we are gonna do these flat areas on the ground are pretty close to 0, so we're doing a suicide burn at a low altitude. 3,000 meters up. 2.5. Deploying landing legs. And engine it. Half thrust, still more than enough. And we are heading down rather nicely. Still, we are just now hitting a third of our fuel. So as you can see, we're still doing quite fine. Okay, 50 meters per second, that is a decentish speed. Like that. Okay, 500, we need to decelerate now. Okay, 20 meters per second. And I'm just gonna do it in short stages, short bursts of engine power. Alrighty. 8 meters per second. Okay, 20, 15, 10. Burn off the last of that speed and gently set down. Excellent! There we go, a simple hop to Minmus. And this rocket is pretty small, like parts-wise. It's both light and has like 60 parts, and that's with me strutting the crap out of everything, so all in all, pretty damn fine, if I may say so myself. Plant flag. I claim this land for the Empire. Woo! Okay. Yeah, we're gonna just call it Minmus 1. Fuck it. And now we get to head back. Grab. Up, up and away. Up, up and away. Retract that ladder. Get in. I said retract it. Retract it. Okay, where are we positioned relative to Kerbin? So we are here. So if we burn towards 90 degrees, we should head pretty much homewards. And we turn horizontal right away because... And we are already reaching orbital velocities. In fact, no, we don't have an escape quite yet, but we will soon. Again, resources, you can see we have some left. I'm not gonna dig around with it too much right here. I'm gonna wait until we hit... until we escape, and then I'm just gonna slow ourselves down. Because it's inefficient if you don't know how to do it right, and I don't know how to do it right. Not quite. This most effective way to, you know, swing out of a planet's sphere of influence and bring your perhaps around the next orbiting body down thing, it's not that good at it. Anyway, 250 meters per second with about a quarter of our fuel left? Less than quarter, a fifth of our fuel left. Whoa. Wait, what? With about a fifth of our fuel left, we still have more than enough to do that. We have like 400 meters per second, which leaves us with a neat reserve. Right there. Well, more than that. Damn it, overdid it. Sorry. Damn it! The tiniest of nudges is required here. Gently, carefully. Not gonna ditch my engine just in case I fuck it up somehow. Or the moon fucks it up, and, you know, just in case I need a nudge. But that is looking good. Okay, final stages of the approach. This is where we can ditch our engine. So, stage. There she is. Our beautiful homeworld. Ah, yes. This is where the Empire will start and spread across the stars. Okay. Turn around. There we go. Yes, like that. And now we just head back in, like so. Observe our re-entry. And There you have it, another flag planting mission. All that's left is to watch Jeb get back home. And look at those speeds, aren't they precious? Oh, we're coming in pretty shallow. We can safely burn off the speed before we have to deploy our parachutes. Not that that lasted for long. That was actually pretty... Oh, rocky terrain. Please say it ain't so. Deploy the chute. Think we're good on that. Chute should hold rather nicely. Or, okay, reaching for 1,000. That's the radar altitude. And hitting 500, the parachute deploys safely. Bit of a G-spot. Damn. Fuck my life. That was totally random and unintentional. Oh gods. Gods. Fuck my life. How do I say these things without even meaning to? Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.